Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, wherever you are. Soy Dominika Magdalena here. Hope everyone is doing absolutely amazingly well and that you keep enjoying your free time, your Easter time with your loved ones. And after the last message I delivered to you 2 days ago, today I come with another important message. And this message today is related to the sin, the innocence, and the acceptance of who we are. Let me just quickly check if everything is okay technically. Hmm, It is. I'm glad to see that. Okay, so one of the lies that we've been led to believe is that the darkness, the experiences of the darker polarity that we are going through are bad, that we are sinners, that even when we are being born as the newborns, we need to go through a baptism to be cleared from the initial so called sin. I was born into this culture and I baptized my son, believing that this is what God would want me to do. And to be honest, I never even stopped and think that how is this that a newborn can be born with a sin? Well, today I come to you to speak about the perception we have on our experiences, on the situations that maybe we did not make the best choices, and how to unlock this innocence, the truth of the innocence within us. One wise woman, one of my most amazing teachers, told me in the past that when oneself is rejecting a 1% of self, it is in truth rejecting the whole self. And I fully agreed with her because I was studying quantum physics and I know how it works on the basis of the quantum physics. But lately, I started to dive deeper and deeper into this rejection topic and why we are being so afraid of our own darkness and why is it so important to fully accept absolutely everything about ourselves. So from my own personal experience, I can tell you that I've been healing for at least maybe past 7 years, literally almost every day, committing to the releasing process, letting go process. But what I was unconsciously doing, I was avoiding myself. I was avoiding the dark side of me. I was avoiding the pain within me. If I'm being even more honest, at certain point, I was so allured by the light that I didn't want to have anything to do with my own darkness. And I even became very judgmental towards others. And I was fooling myself with the belief that I only accept the light, that I am only the light. And even though I kept teaching others about this one rejected percent that is actually making us reject the whole self, I was unconsciously and out of fear of rejection, constantly rejecting my shadow self. That led me to a very uncomfortable feeling of, again, internal conflict. It felt like two polarities are fighting with each other inside of me until I realized that what I was truly scared of was to, first of all, accept that the hurt that I went through, the events that I went through, were needed, that they were in fact designed by me before my incarnation. It was really hard for me to fully and from my heart accept my parents and other people who took an active part in this trauma making in my life, because it simply was too painful. My inner child was constantly fighting, running away, and I even developed an avoidance syndrome where I would keep running away, not knowing what I was running away from. When around 2 months ago, I went through a very profound channeled session with Jesus, and he kept explaining to me that unless we fully forgive those who hurt us, we will never truly be free. Why? Because the abuser that caused us this hurt, this pain, this misery, this sorrow, this sadness is living within us too, because we are all one, we are all connected. On many occasions, I would teach that the villain perception is the perception of ego, that our soul's perception on those who hurt us, who gave us the toughest lessons and pulled the triggers with the golden bullets, that in fact it was done out of love. It was done for the purpose of us going through certain experiences and experiencing the tougher, the darker polarity, so then we can actually experience the potential of light, the full potential of light, the depth of the love. And when I was doing this channeled session, which you can also find on my feed, I think it's called The Second Time I Met Jesus, he explained to me that we can only free ourselves when we fully forgive those who hurt us, because in the same moment we are forgiven ourselves. Unless we fully acknowledge that on a soul level, this was something that we have chosen. On a human even level, the person who became the villain did not become a villain just because one day he decided that he wants to be one. The person who hurt others went through its own traumas, went through its own pain, and most of the times on a human level, this is the way when he is actually screaming for help, where this person who hurt us doesn't know how to release the past trauma and is struggling a lot. In this channeled session, Jesus made me very much aware and made me feel the dynamics, the emotional dynamics, the energetic dynamics, and the behavioral dynamics that I was holding within my structure, within my being, within my consciousness, that belonged to the person that hurt me the most. And in this moment, he explained to me that the universe within us is creating this mirror effect of the abuser, that in truth it is only an illusion, that the abuser is separate from us, that is outside of us, so we can feel the dynamic of the abuser and eventually finally forgive. If we are saying that we are better, if we are judging and we are saying that I would never do something like that, how could you do that? You are the bad person. The universe within us, which is all oneness, wants us to experience the same dynamic so we can finally let go. So we can, in a way, feel how the abuser felt and the pain and the struggle that the abuser was going through. And this is very true. The forgiveness is a big and massive component of freeing ourselves and letting go. But another very important component of us finally releasing the illusion that is often ruling our life for many, many years, if not the whole life, is to fully, fully accept everything that has happened in our life. Fully accept all the people who took an active part in all those stories that were actually pre-written by us, and they were simply taking their roles out of love because we wanted to go through this experience. The truth is that very often we lock ourselves in the false perception of the experiences, the painful experiences, and we are shaming ourselves for them. We are feeling ashamed of them. We don't want to look at them. We create new kind of masks, faces, and stories of who we are, not being able to actually acknowledge that, as I said in my previous video, everything that we receive comes as an opportunity for us to learn and grow. And the more we are performing the rejection act of absolutely anything that has been not only done to us, but also what we've done to others, trying to, always wear the white gloves and trying to always say, I am with love and light, we are constantly rejecting the darkness within us. Whatever is being rejected within us, it always comes back with a bigger strength. And it may hit you from any side. It may hit you from an experience you will go through in your workplace. It may hit you from the experience with your child, with your partner, or any other situation. This is the way the universe within us is really pointing out that there is something that, again, needs our attention and needs our love. Because what we are truly running away from is always pain. We are running away from the pain. We are turning our heads away from our own darkness because we are scared of pain. We are scared of rejection, but underneath this rejection is pain. Is pain and fear. Pain and fear. What the universe within us wants us to do, to evolve, to move forward, is to fully accept it and transmute this pain and transmute this fear into our greatest potential. And from my own experience and experiences of many other people that I either work with or spoke to, I know that the bigger the pain and the greater the fear, that's where our greatest potential lies. So, shall we now still run away and pretend that everything is beautiful and love and light and rainbows? Or shall we finally fully accept ourselves and ask your higher self, ask the universe within you, how can I embrace now this insecurity within me, this fear within me, this pain within me, and turn it into my gold? As long as you keep rejecting any aspect of yourself, as long as you will be pointing out the finger on others, they did this to me, you are acting from your ego, and you will never feel free unless you turn back and look at your past and start seeing everyone, absolutely everyone, as innocent ones. This is when you will start to allow yourself to collapse this illusion of sin, collapse this illusion of shame and guilt and rejection, and you will then start to feel that you were always an innocent one, that absolutely everything that you went through was so greatly needed for the purpose of your own evolution. Today I come to you with this message so you can stop and, instead of constantly judging yourself and also rejecting yourself, because if you are running away from rejection and the pain of rejection, you will keep doing that to yourself and you will feel the pain anyhow. And you will keep attracting people who will be mirroring that back to you. So instead of constantly out of the same false programming, judging others and yourself, look at everything you went through, at everything your little inner child went through with love and compassion. When healing inner child, which by the way is a must, it is absolute must, and I will explain to you in more details in a moment. When healing that inner child, again, instead of even judging the false programming that you will find within your conscious mind, that I am, for example, unworthy, instead of saying, how stupid was I, try to see the moment of creating this pattern as if you are looking as a little child who just went through a very difficult experience, and this child's little mind created this false belief. Try to feel into what this child was going through, and in fact, what this child is constantly going through, because this now still exists in a different now timeline, and start connecting to her, to him, and give him the love that she or he needed in that moment. And this is something actually wonderful that we can do for ourselves, because I know that when we speak about healing our inner child, a lot of people have this perception of on this work that I need to attend the false beliefs and the negative programming I created about the world and myself, and then I will be free and I don't have to do anything with my inner child. The truth is that we all exist in one now. There's just one now within multiple infinite number of timelines, constantly experiencing the same situation. So if you, for example, had three major traumas in your childhood that haven't been healed, haven't been attended, the inner child in those timelines still exists. It didn't go anywhere because there's just one now. It's looping. The event, the situation is constantly looping. And until you go and connect to this situation and support this child, and there are many different modalities how to transmute this energy, how to redesign the event, how to help this child. Um, if you are interested, please comment down below and I will be happy to help you with that. But when you're most of you will probably be not aware that when you are truly doing the work and you are using some of those modalities and you are connecting with this child, when you are merging in with this different now timeline and you appear in a form of a support, help for this little self, you are actually energetically there and you are actually healing, but not only healing this little self, you are changing the trajectory of this timeline, which is then, as a ripple effect, affecting all the timelines before the event and after the event. And after a beautiful session that you may do for yourself with someone who will guide you, or even with yourself, by yourself, if you have the knowledge and skills, you suddenly start to feel this internal energetic shift. You feel like something has been lifted. Well, that is because you went back to this specific timeline and you changed the trajectory, you changed the event. This is how powerful you are. This is how powerful you are. The God self, the creator, the unconditional love. So when you act from this unconditional love, when you stop running away, being ashamed of what has happened, but you turn into that younger version of self. I often turn to the younger version of self from yesterday. When you do this out of this love and compassion, this is such a profound and big transmuting energy that you are truly changing the events that took place after this event. And you are not only freeing this little inner me there, but you are freeing all the version of younger self. And that's when suddenly in your now, you feel that shift. That's what the energy healing is truly about. And you can travel as many times to every single slides. It's like slide by slide in an animation movie, and you can heal and shift them and transmute them. Whenever in this now you feel triggered and uncomfortable feeling comes up, and you feel that there is something that needs your attention, ask to be guided to the timeline where this feeling, this emotion is rooted, and accept what has happened and help this younger version of me, and forgive from your heart. Release the person and release yourself, because the moment when you honestly start to release from that space, not from the space of separation from others and pointing fingers out, but from the space of unity, from the greater awareness of why you went through this experience. Because actually, in this pain, in this trauma, whatever it was, this is why you, that the reason why you had to experience that is because there is a greater reason, not only about, not only to learn maybe forgiveness or acceptance, but maybe to take this experience and then go and help others, even create a business, a mission, a service out of this experience, and gather the gold from it, turn it into your gold. And the more you finally stop and just accept, radical acceptance of everyone, everything, and yourself, everything you've done, everything you thought, everything you allowed yourself to believe in, lie down in this acceptance, like wash yourself in a pool of the energy of acceptance for everything that took place. Because when you start accepting, you will also go through this beautiful experience of peace inside. You will finally say, okay, this is me. This is what has happened. I accept. And until you not perform and fully accept everything, the whole darkness within you, forget that you will shift higher into higher potential self. The universe within you and the energy that is cording you, is anchoring you to the past because of lack of acceptance, lack of forgiveness, lack of transmutation, and your ignorance because of the fear of pain, it will pull you back, and it will create even more experiences in your life that will keep reminding you that there is something you don't want to look at. The moment you lie down and fully, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, accept everything and absolutely everything about yourself and everyone who was participating in your experiences, that's when you will start to feel peace. That's when you will stop running away. And after the peace, you will start to laugh because you will understand that you've been dragging the whole energy behind you, where in fact you could simply just accept without any judgment and know and understand that it was needed, and change the perception and perspective on your life and everything that has happened so far, on the library of experiences that you can now source your knowledge from, source the information to build a service and help others. See it as your basket full of gifts, full of knowledge, full of wisdom, and change it from lack and fear and badness and something that you feel ashamed of in your asset. This is your asset. Accept it radically and take it and transform it. And that's when you unlock the feeling inside of you that in fact There is no sin, that they are just experiences. And none of the experiences are good or bad. They are simply experiences. And you are so rich in this experience that you can now take it and share it with others. Shift the perspective and allow yourself to even feel the gratitude for what you have went through. Because I'm telling you, in every pain, there's your greatest potential, the other side of the coin. You will find your own light within the darkest of the darkest nights. That's where you will find your light. In this pain, in this struggle. And you will understand that not only you, but everyone is innocent. And those who are telling us that we are the ones to be judged, shamed, don't allow yourself to believe it for any minute longer. You are the innocent child, but you need to take the experience and the knowledge and wisdom from that and do something really amazing with it. There is no lack. Every experience expands this universe. And the universe doesn't judge those experiences. It will only give us more of similar experiences if we are not gaining the lesson from it, because it loves us so much and believes that we will finally get it. That we will finally get it. And then we can move on to have a calmer life, that we will finally allow actually ourselves to have a beautiful life. Because what I found with myself, there was this aspect of me who would not allow happiness in my life because she felt so guilty of even being alive. She heard so many stories about herself as a little child that she believed that she means nothing. So she would create this, I had this internal resistance to receive, to be visible, to allow myself to feel that I am somehow important, until I went to her and I said, listen, listen, my little girl, you are the most precious, amazing child and you deserve absolutely everything. And I kept being with her, I kept assisting her. And I was explaining to her, you mean everything. You allow to have everything. You allow You're allowed to feel love. You are allowed to love. Don't be scared of love. Her heart was so shattered, closed. She believed that the only way to get something was when she gives away everything. That was my programming I was operating from most of my life. And I somehow thought that if I turn into this meditation and this love and like that, I will not have to look at this. And I will simply somehow transform and wake up different one day. So the universe was bombarding me with this lack, with everything, the situations that were heartbreaking, and I didn't understand why until I said, fine, what needs my attention? And I found this aspect of me that felt unworthy of living. And when I started to work with this specific timeline, the ripple effect was that it affected every single slide in my life of my story. And I didn't have to install the new belief that I am now worthy of everything. I did try, that did not work. Why? Because energy does this job for us. So when from my heart, unconditional love and compassion for this younger version of me, I was working with this specific timeline, the energy transferred itself eventually into mine now. And I felt, oh my God, I finally feel the validation for my existence. Where was I this whole time? What was I thinking this whole time? The energy did the work for me. It came to me. The healing eventually reached my heart in this now timeline. So this is how powerful your heart And love and compassion is, the more you act from it, the more you use it to heal yourself, release others. And how it is important to release others because you are one with them, because they are just different versions of you, the quicker you will allow yourself to step into this innocence. And when you are in the innocence, this childlike, energy, there's no limitations. You allow everything to come to you because you know it is you. You are this reality. You allow your imagination, wild imagination. You start to finally dream big. You know you are worthy of everything. You know that the universe may be not, maybe in a childhood you experience a situation where your parents, your caretakers would tell you that you do not deserve this, or they simply didn't know how to give you because they didn't know or they didn't have anything to give you, and you grew up in this conviction that there is no point of me asking for anything, never mind to ask for something big because I'm never going to get it anyway. And I'm unworthy of it anyway. Well, when that shifts, you grab and you dream big because you know that the universe within you is constantly evolving, is full of abundance, that in truth there is no lack. It is impossible for the lack to exist. Lack is an illusion. So you ask for this and you simply do not want and you do not crave and you are not begging and you are not desperate for anything because everything is. Because you are one with absolutely everything. This physical frame is just an illusion of separation for the purpose of this human experience. You are one with money, you are one with this house you desire, you are one with this partner you desire. So all you have to take care of is your frequency and keep yourself in this state and trust and faith that there is no separation, that there is this abundance of unconditional love. So all you do, you create a desire with your heart of the experience that you wish to go through. And you can say, God, I wish to experience my fullest potential. In work, I wish to experience my fullest potential as a mother. And you don't have to start even looking for it because guess what? The universe responds immediately because universe doesn't know time. It brings the opportunities to you because you simply send out an intention that you wish to grow, and universe loves to grow and expand and experience the new. If you are stuck in a negative cycle and you constantly repeating the same situations, attracting the same kind of people, do you think that entertains universe? When you are constantly creating the same stuff, when in fact the universe sees nothing but the potential within you and it wants you to explore and it wants you to expand and it wants you to explode with passion. When you act from this energy, the universe will always support you. But you need to let go and forgive and accept the fact that it was an experience. I am innocent and I was always loved. No lack of love. Stop and feel into it. Because if you only keep that as a concept in your head, it's also not going to work. Feel into it. Invite, invite that into your life. Invite that God into your life. Even if you are in a moment, in a phase of your life where you don't know how to act differently, when you even don't know how to ask, when you don't know what to ask for, ask how, lead me. I am open to become better, grander version of me that, by the way, already exists. There is even no separation between you and this grander version of you who is experiencing life differently. It's just the mindset. But it is available to you now. You don't have to go and study for 3 years. It is available to you now. And all you have to say is say no and go through this acceptance and forgiveness and say no to repeating the same cycles and open yourself up to the higher version of self and you will be assisted like that. Always works. Always works. It might not be so easy when the universe will respond immediately, and universe knows absolutely everything about you, and the universe will know that there are certain attachments, things that you will need to release and let go of. Most of all, the control and the attachments to the outcome of how things will progress for you during this shift, during this change. But it will make you aware. It will make you aware of what needs to go. And the person you will meet on the other side when you will go through those portals of change will be the biggest gift you can give to yourself. Open yourself up to the God within. Open yourself up to more. Open yourself up to freedom. If you don't feel free in your life for whatever reason, and you don't know how to free yourself because of the burden, because of the limitations that still exist within the physical reality, invite the energy of freedom in and say to universe, God, I feel so imprisoned. I am saying no to that version to me of me. My wish, and remember about the power of your words. My wish, my heart desire is to experience myself as a free sovereign being. Lead me, take me there. The universe will respond immediately. The relationships that are not good for you will go. The job will go. The addictions, habits will have to go. The thinking processes, the hurt that you keep doing to yourself, the abuse that you're performing on yourself will suddenly become so prominent, so painful, because universe wants you to let go of that, to make you aware that, hey, you are actually abusing yourself, you are hurting your feelings. It's you who is constantly saying yes to feeling unworthy, little, invisible, and all of that. It will make you feel very, very aware, and universe knows best ways to do so. But the ego in those moments will step in and will say, see, you are still unworthy. No, you are unworthy. No, you are not good enough. By the way, I will be doing more broadcasts about the toxic ego ways, how this aspect of us is trying to sabotage us and stop us from stepping and quantum leaping into that higher potential of self that we are all collectively, I know, feeling right now very, very intensely. But you need to be aware that when things are becoming uncomfortable, it's not because something is wrong with us. It's because the universe wants us to let go of that. But the ego will step in and say, no, see, this is difficult. This is too much. No, you can't do it. Go back to your comfort zone. Go back to the old self. You need to be very, very aware. I recently created like a spreadsheet where I wrote down, with the assistance of my spirit guides, all the toxic ego ways, and I wrote, I think, 7 different stages of how ego is actually intelligent and is trying to do absolutely everything from our to stop us from this journey of expansion. Why? Because ultimately it means that the ego will have to dissolve. So I'm going to come and share this in more details with you. Additionally, what is beautiful on this path of self-forgiveness and the acceptance and opening yourself up again back to love, back to yourself, is that the universe is communicating with us so prominently through the external matrix. And this is a knowledge that I honestly finally have to come and start sharing, how to decode the external matrix so you know what the universe within you is trying to tell you. And it's going to be beneficial for this evolution of yours too. Even this morning when I went to for a walk, which I try to do every single day, the universe was constantly sending me symbols and energetic information through the external matrix to let me know that there is a specific thing coming up in my journey. So it is beautiful and amazing because you can literally talk to God like all the time. Like the line is open. Well, I hope this live, I hope this information was useful for you. Please comment if you um, would like to know more about those processes, or if you would like to know more about the energy healing modalities that you can use to heal the different now timelines where your inner child, inner teenager still exist and still experiencing the same thing over and over again. And if you are watching me on YouTube, I would love you to click the subscribe button and also leave a comment. I am sending you all much love. Have a beautiful Tuesday, and I will see you very, very soon.